La like a flower crying for the dew. That was my heart serenading you, a prelude to a kiss. If you hear a song in blue, like a flower crying for the dew, that was my heart serenading you, a prelude to a kiss. If you hear a sound that grows from my tender sentimental woes, that was my heart trying to compose a prelude to a kiss.
Though it's just a simple melody with nothing fancy, nothing much, you could turn it to a symphony, a Schubert tune with a Gershwin touch. Oh, how my love song gently cries for the tenderness within your eyes. My love is a prelude that never dies, my prelude to a kiss. Though it's just a simple melody with nothing fancy, nothing much, you could turn it to a symphony, a Schubert tune with a Gershwin touch. Oh, how my love song gently cries for the tenderness within your eyes. My love is a prelude that never dies, my prelude to a kiss.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Less Than 10 Music. This is our second concert of our second season, Ages of Jazz. We are so excited to have you with us. You just listened to Prelude to a Kiss by Duke Ellington, arranged by myself. with amazing solos by Paige Stevens, Sean Riley, and Kyle Jones. Man, it's just, I hope y'all felt as much as I did during that. That was just, for me, that was an emotional roller coaster.
That was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, like, gosh, like I originally planned for me and Paige just singing in harmony with each other or in octaves together. But when I heard that recording that she did, like I was just like, no. You take it on from here, because that was just so emotionally charged. I like kind of teared up a bit when I heard that first. Man, it's such a tender song. And they did it so well.
Absolutely. And the improvisation on it, everything is like so tasteful. Yeah, it's so cool.
Vibe with these guys every day, man. And that was a tough piece for me to arrange, because it's a big jazz standard, you know. And the beauty of this piece is in simplicity, is in laying that melodic chromatic line to sin and cry and be so tender. So you can't get too much in the way. But we're a group of 9 people, you know. That's already gonna be kind of dense. So I found myself just making this really scarce, like in the orchestration, and I barely had to do anything to make it sound good, because the group, man.
Yeah,
the piece itself,
and
like
the piece itself is just like so rich already, right? I had the same thing with the piece we're going to hear later about not trying to do too much. I went through so many versions of it, because it's like, wait, do I need to do all this extra stuff? Or
who's that baby in your hands?
This is my little dog Pinto. He's the co-host tonight.
Pinto, what do you think about the state of new music in Austin, Texas? Ah, yes, good response, Pinto. Thank you.
he goes for like the moody vibe.
You do. All right, everyone. For those who are new to our show, we are Less Than 10 Music. We are a live stream concert series, new music collective dedicated to the production of new works, collaborations, discussions with artists, and multimedia productions. We're a collection of performers and composers with ties to Austin, Texas, although a lot of us are not in Austin right now. Elizabeth way up in north, Kyle is up in mid, and we are still collaborating from across the web, and we're loving every minute of it. We strive to emulate the accessibility of our online platforms in our music making. We want to bring new music to audiences that might not come to a live concert. And we're so happy for how that's been turning out so far. The collective comes from a wide variety of musical backgrounds, and we always aim to show off the wonderful differences we all have. So absolutely. I really hope y'all been enjoying this. Kyle Jones and Catherine Brooks are our chat moderators tonight. Kyle's on Twitch chat, and Catherine's on the Facebook chat. Feel free to ask questions in the chat, and we will answer throughout the show. They will also be sending links to our Patreon. They'll be sending links to artist information that you'll be seeing throughout the show. And speaking of which, Alan, who is our artist coming up, or artists coming up?
So we have a special treat. They're actually good friends of mine, Camille Sheese and Tony Mariano, who are a duo, violin and classical guitar. I know Camille for years now, and we play like gigs, like dozens and dozens of gigs together all throughout the year and stuff. So it was just like a no-brainer for me to invite them. She also is like an improviser. She plays in American Dreamer, in several like singer-songwriter groups, and in like Americana and bluegrass. And she's also a classical violinist and an improviser. So yeah, it was definitely like a quick call for me.
And I'm breathtaking what they've done. So guys, listen with us. We're gonna check out this set by Tony and Camille. They did an improvisation, they did some performances, some text, and they are playing a piece by Debussy. Let us know in the chat if you know what the piece is. Enjoy, guys. Tony and Camille.
Mon âme, vers ton front où rêve, ô calme sœur. Un automne jonché de taches de rousseur, et vers le ciel errant de ton œil angélique monte. Comme dans un jardin mélancolique. Fidèle, un blond jet d'eau soupire vers l'azur attendri d'octobre pâle et pur, qui mire au grand bassin sa longueur infinie et laisse sur l'eau morte sous la fauve agonie des feuilles errent au vent et creusent un froid sillon, se traînait le soleil jaune d'un long rayon.
Out of the blue, caught thinking of you, trying to let you go. Every day, she's caught praying. Stop this feeling. Stop losing control. You've got her number down and she's just waiting around. You've got her number down and she's just waiting around. How many times does she tell herself, oh, it's all a dream? Every day, she's caught praying. Stop this feeling. Oh, stop fooling around. You got her number down and she's just waiting around. You got her number down and she's just waiting around.
And we're back, guys. That was the beautiful playing of Tony and Camille, and here they are with us, guys. Bravo, that was gorgeous there.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, gosh, tell us about that. That was so cool. You weaved 3 different styles so gracefully and so seamlessly together in this performance. We were talking during the performance how it's like you're wearing all these different hats. You do so many different projects, and you just found this really seamless way to stitch it all together. Yeah, tell us about your performance.
You want to
Sure, yeah. Well, I can't speak for myself, but I can speak for Camille. One of the things that I always am so impressed with Camille about is her ability to play so comfortably in different styles. You know, and I grew up as a total classical guitar player and feel like such a square when I try to do other things. And so getting to have Camille as sort of a partner in crime in music making is super helpful and super fun for me. Yeah, we love doing our classical thing, but we also love kind of adventuring outside of that little box and just having fun with our music.
Yeah.
Very evident. It's really rich watching you guys, and very enriching. Like just tell us about that set though. You started out with this poetry, then was that an improv? Then you went into a song, and then you went into some deputy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started off with a little improv that we did, that we recorded, and that was to accompany a poem that we really liked, that our mom,
my mom.
Camille's mom, narrated for us and sent
wow.
over.
Yeah.
Being the resident French woman in our family.
I could speak French, but then I was like, there's some words in here that my accent is it's just not gonna happen. So.
Yeah. And the poem itself is kind of a weird poem in that it could be about a million different things, but the interpretation that I got from it is it's about kind of the subtle beauty of nature in a particular time of year, in fall and autumn, and so we were sort of inspired by that simple beauty to try to find something simple and beautiful that we could play to kind of match that weird character of the poem.
That's really seasonal now.
And we just
fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we just decided to take a camera out to a nice place that we enjoy and just capture a still and throw it on there.
Totally beautiful. Like I was really impressed. Like we were saying right now while we were watching it, we were talking a little, and we were talking about how all 3 pieces, even though they're different, they just kind of like totally fit this stream, right? But like almost like a suite or something, right? I think it perfectly fits like what this concert, a lot of what this concert is about, like Ages of Jazz, which is partly about how jazz is like so deeply rooted in like all of our culture for like so long, and like all Black music traditions have like influenced like the whole world and all of our aesthetics, even national identities, right? Like if you think, if you hear certain kinds of music, right, like it's easy to not get the credit or something that like, oh, there's so much of it is like rooted in like jazz and other kinds of art forms like that. So having these kind of different things, including like song and popular music styles and stuff included in it, it's really cool to see that underlying like root current.
The root.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we're not jazz. We don't have jazz backgrounds, but one of the things that I love and respect about jazz is sort of the freedom of genre and the freedom of expression that sometimes is limited when you do, classical music. And that kind of helped us define our style as being free from playing Beethoven only and Mozart only, but playing Debussy in a song that we wrote and a song that we improvised to try to create a cool
and to just to just tie it all together,
Bravo, it was so well done.
Thanks,
And
guys.
freedom it seems to be a big theme what y'all do. Magnolia Kids, American Dreamer, this all just ring free. Tell us about Magnolia
Sure.
Kids.
So Magnolia Kids is our, when you're a musician, there's a certain part of you that wants to be able to have a creative outlet that exists purely for fun and rather than for work. And that's sort of Magnolia Kids for
That's
us.
what that is, yeah.
And we teamed up with our friend and her boyfriend, it was a bass player, and her boyfriend a keyboard player, to try to see what would happen if we had just as much fun as possible making music.
Yeah.
And being as silly as we possibly could be.
Well, not that's saying that, like, there's all types of like fun in music,
Sure,
but
sure.
like, yeah, just a different side of the there's different streams, and so this one was just like, let's make this one just written silly and not serious, because classical world, there's like a sort of a not seriousness, but
There's
focus.
pressure.
There can be,
Focus.
right?
There's
Yeah,
pressure,
yeah.
accountability, focus. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
this
There's
one,
like
we're like,
rigor to it that sometimes it's easy
Yeah.
to lose the connection and all
Sure.
that.
Mhm.
Could
Yeah. And for me, I mean, what Magnolia Kids does for me is it kind of connects me back to making music as a kid.
yeah.
When I was thinking less about making money with it and
Yeah.
and what people were going to think and if I would get hired. And so it allows us to do, a live stream where we're wearing, basketball shorts and somebody's in a spacesuit costume.
Yeah.
And, it just was fun and it's
what we wanted to do.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
we go for it. And
The
it-
kids
And then
part.
and then with the sorry, yeah.
Oh, go ahead, go
for
ahead.
it. Sorry.
Well, I was
No,
going
no,
to say
no,
the
you go
kids
for it.
part. No, you. The kids part. Magnolia Kids. I think it really rings that because I think the goal of every artist should be, at the end of the day, to be like a kid again.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
freedom of artistry, the innocence, the purity of just of joy in what you do, in the releasing of the soul. That's something to strive for in all art forms. So I think it's just as important, if not more important, in ways like to have these things in your life.
yeah, absolutely.
Totally. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Totally.
If nothing else, to have sort of a counter and a release from what you do on a day-to-day basis, which can sometimes be grueling.
And it informs what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very much so.
Yeah.
Tell us about American Dreamer really quick too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was about to say that. Sorry. Yeah. Well, with American Dreamer, yeah, I see that's another group I feel so lucky to be a part of. When I first moved here, it was just like I had experience like back home, playing like different styles of music, and so when I moved here, I didn't really have that, although I was really excited because this is the live music capital, so they say, and so I was really excited and but I didn't have a group, and so I got really lucky. I got to sub with American Dreamer, and then I just really I fell in love with these people because they're amazing. They're my really good friends, and it's like this folk. It's a different side, and a side that I also really like, and it's a folk band, a folk group. But we also have a little bit of this orchestral element, so I can tap into also my classical roots and kind of share with my songwriting. We can kind of combine those things, and I really, I just had a songwriting session with Sasha the other day, and so we're really trying to just meld those two worlds, the folk and the orchestral aspect. And it's been really fun. We've gotten to a couple music festivals now, and it's been good.
Hanging on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like the way to live.
Yeah.
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 Well, we have links for TonyCamille.com in the chat. Guys, check out what they do. They're all over the place in Austin scene. I think right now you guys are also playing on ACG, Austin Classical Guitar. So like y'all are well connected. Y'all are doing so many great things, and we look forward to keep working with y'all in the future. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Y'all
Thank
good
you so
night.
much.
Have a good night.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.
And next up, we got your music, Alan. I'm so excited for this one.
Are we starting straight in?
Yeah, let's go into it. Do you want to introduce it?
Sure. So this is a piece that I wrote for a really good friend of mine, Sean LaSure, who's like an incredible violinist, and he's just been a dear friend of mine, and we talk about poetry and life and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, so I wrote this for him with 5 other players as an accompaniment. Oh, and well, I'll talk about it after the thing.
Yeah, awesome. Guys, this is Layer Shadow on the Sundial by our very own Alan Ray DeMozo, featuring the great violinist Sean LaSure. Enjoy. And we are back. That was Lay Your Shadow on the Sundial, written by Alan Reynamozo in collaboration with Sean LaSure, who we have on stream. Hi, Sean. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Man, kudos to both you guys. That was a beautiful collaboration. Alan, your music's always touching, and Sean, you really interpreted that with some heart. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, can you tell us about this process? You based this off of a poem, right?
Yeah, well, I actually started, like, I got almost all the way through the piece before I found that poem.
Oh.
But so Sean and I had a conversation maybe a month ago or something like that. And we were just talking about, like what's going on in our lives and stuff, and what we're thinking about, and so from that, we kind of like came up on some general themes, like not like putting too fine a point on like a theme or whatever, but we were feeling like changing of seasons, cycles of decay and regeneration and like that, and like you feel those kind of cycles in your life, when you go through different kinds of things and stuff. So and so we've talked about all that kind of stuff many times before. So I was writing the piece, and it was like trying to capture that kind of vibe, and a sense of uncertainty and maybe fluidity. But I was having a lot of trouble finishing it, and then I was looking through a Rilke collected works book, and I found this early one that I had never read called Autumn Day, and it has the second line of it has the title of the piece, and right away that poem, like, for me, like, hit the mark of like, what's the spirit of the thing I'm trying to like communicate here or something, right? And so that helped me kind of finish the piece, and I shared it with Sean too after that.
Nice. And Sean, you brought so much to that piece too. That interpretation was really well done. What are your thoughts on this piece, man? How is this process for you?
It's been a process of discovery and exploration. I think for me, I felt in the music like the colors of autumn, like emerging, and also the kind of inexorable like march of time, and like chaos as well, like chaos, like leading to like something very inner, to like things coming apart, to like leaves falling, to like the wind blowing. I definitely like felt this this like natural element, like from the natural world, like in the music.
That's what you're playing. That melodic line you have going throughout, just this really pleading, ascending, getting all the way, it's like just being so free at the end. That's, I think what you said, it kind of evokes that. For me, I was doing. Oh, go ahead.
I'm really glad to hear that your thoughts about it and stuff. We haven't talked about it before, but that's really cool. I was definitely feeling about creating like a sense of a sense of identity and self, but within like a larger chaotic world, right? And coming in and out, and the way like we're kind of in this big blur, like we're both part of the world, but also like individual beings and stuff. That was cool. Yeah, I like to hear the way it felt for you. That was cool.
For sure.
I was doing video for this one, so I talked to Alan. I was like, like this piece, like it feels like just it's calling for like this like more visual element to it as well, because it's so dramatic. So he showed me the poem, and I was like, okay, is it cool if I put like the falling leaves of autumn, like, and these fog in the background? He was like, yeah, go for it. I'm like, okay, because it was the first time I've done that in less than 10 videos, like putting more than just us playing in there. I think it went well. I hope y'all liked that.
I loved it.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
I was so impressed. Like the like your video editing skills are like.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Francis still takes the cake on that, though. He's. I'll look at him for example. Yeah, man. Such great things happening tonight. Sean, tell us about some of your upcoming projects and collaborations. You're a part of this violin duo called Thrice Heart, right?
Right. So my very good friend and a fellow violinist, Martin, been playing with Martin for about a year now, and we've been putting shows online, and he had the idea that we make a holiday album. So we'll be recording that soon, later this month, and it'll be available for digital release on our website, which is violinheart.com.
Nice. Awesome. I'll put that on for the season to come. Violinheart.com is where we can buy it. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Nice. We'll get that in the chat right now.
Yeah. Sean, that's fantastic. You are an awesome bass violinist too. I've yet to meet you, but once everything settles down, I'd love to do more collaborations with you.
Absolutely.
I'll be your bassist. I'll play backup for you, and and it'll be a good time. Dang. So we would love to keep working with you. You got this upcoming album. When is the release plan?
Tentative December 2020, but we'll see.
Nice. Awesome. Dang. Alan, thanks for reaching out to Sean. It was great having you on the show.
Yeah.
I
was looking forward to it so much. Like for several years now, I've been thinking about like, I don't have, always the opportunity to just be like, oh, I'm going to write a piece for so-and-so and have it recorded and stuff. And so as soon as it was like, oh, I can, now that I'm part of Less Than 10, I can like invite somebody to like collaborate with. I was like, oh man.
Let's do more. Let's do more.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was right for you too, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, everyone, this was Sean LeSure. Check out his work at thriceheart.com and
violinheart.com.
Oh, violinheart. I'm sorry, violinheart.com. There you go. And,
somebody got the domain name before us, so
violinheart.com. The group is Thrice Heart. Awesome. Well, thank you, Sean. It's a pleasure to have you. Have a good night.
Take care.
You too, man.
Thank you, Sean.
Peace, Alan. See you later.
See you soon, man.
Oof, man. Now we have another guest artist group here. They are Oslet Trio. They're an avant jazz group from New York, and you're about to be blown away by the production, the quality of music and improvisation that they're bringing to this. I met Yuma in Canada actually a while back before everything went to like quarantine zone, and I'm just so glad that I had this opportunity to be working with them again. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. So guys, I hope you enjoy this as much as I do, because it's gonna be a blast. This is Oslet Trio. They're gonna play 3 songs from their new album. Enjoy. And welcome back again. That was the amazing production of the Oslet Trio based from New York. And here they are. We got Yuma Uesaka with us, Kat Tauren, Colin Hinton of the Oslet Trio. We're so excited to have you with us, guys. Congratulations on that production. That was
Thanks
great.
for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. These are 3 tracks from your upcoming album coming out in March 2021, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for this is a premiere, right? Like, has this been played yet?
Never.
Other platforms?
First
Woo!
time.
So we are honored to have the first debut of these 3 tracks. Awesome, guys.
But now we have to wait until March.
yeah,
This is true. Yeah,
just teasing
it's a
everybody
teaser.
here. Tell us about this process of making this new album and what y'all's collaborative process is like.
Yeah, Colin, do you want to take this? Because this, maybe the about the inception of this band and whatnot.
I think if I remember correctly, this band, Yuma and I play in a couple of projects together, and Kat and I had been talking about playing, and I got it originally was kind of a one-off gig at this this venue uptown, and we each brought some tunes for it, and it gelled really well, and I just remember having a really great time in rehearsal, and the gig was a lot of fun. And then called everybody for another gig, and then we started talking, being like, "Do you guys want to make this a thing?" And it just kind of happened.
It was very cute, actually. The night of our first gig ever, we had made a small amount of money, and someone was like, does someone want to just keep this money and be the treasurer? And I guess we're a band now. That's how it
I think I said that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it was like, do we each want $10 right now, or like,
or do we want to start a project
fund,
already
yeah.
2 years in the making? I'll pick the project.
It's a great story coming in, but y'all have been doing some amazing things since then. You're all really active musicians. Yuma, I met you outside of Oslo, actually. We met in Toronto. Was it a year ago, 2 years ago? I don't know, but I
2019.
Yeah, 2019. I'm just so glad I had this opportunity to be working with you again, even if we're doing this from far away. I'm just as like interviewers, I guess. But yeah, I wrote a piece for you and a lot of other people, including Francis Favis, right? Also met him there. And your improvisational skills really added so much to that. I wrote that piece thinking about what you do, what everyone else does, and I don't know. Everything you guys do, you take it to a really good level. And if you weren't there, that piece would not have been shining as much as it did. So glad to have you back here. Yuma, tell us about some of your personal projects too.
Yeah, thanks for that, James. Actually, your piece actually has a lot of connection with one of the things that I'm about to plug. Actually, because one of the singles that I released recently this summer is based off of Japanese court music. And your piece was based off of the concept
very
of
loosely.
of space. And this single is a duo with this Japanese show player, which is this mouth organ that's used in Japanese traditional music. So that's one of the projects that I released recently. So you can check it out on my website. And aside from that, yeah, I play in a lot of different groups. Same with everyone else in this band, where we're very active side people, along with our own projects. So another cool thing that I did recently is this album with this guitarist Praveen Thompson. We released a cool music video, like a rooftop kind of a prog rock type of thing. So if you're into that stuff, there's some of that. I guess if you go to my Instagram, you can find it.
I can put it in the chat right now. There's a YouTube link you sent me.
Oh yeah, that works too.
Here you go.
Yeah.
All right, it's there.
Yeah. End of plug.
Man, you're a part of a collective too, Polyfold, right?
Yeah. So Polyfold is a musical arts collective, we call it, which is kind of similar to what you all are doing with the Less Than 10. We have we originally started with about like 18 people, but we kind of reduced in size because organizationally it got a little tough. But Yeah, we're a registered nonprofit, and we organize concerts. We used to organize it in the physical space, back in the day, before Corona.
The good old
But
days.
yeah, but we do all
The
sorts of
before
Ridge
things.
Farm.
times.
Yeah, exactly, the before times. Things like presenting various community members, but also promoting different people's records and hosting workshops and whatnot. So yeah, anything to just kind of create a sense of community within this improvised music, jazz, new classical. This kind of like musicians that are kind of in the between worlds, in the crack of things. Not quite like in one space, but not kind of in the, we call it like jazz adjacent.
Jazz adjacent. That's good. Yeah.
So I think it really fits in with even with this presentation too. I think like
And you really do cross worlds too. I remember you brought clarinet with you as well to Toronto, and you're like, like I'm not very like experienced on this, but here we go, and then you just blew everyone away. Like,
I'm glad you feel that way about it.
Yeah. Man, Kat, tell us about your story too. All of you guys are doing such cool things.
Sure. Yeah, I'll keep it kind of brief so we can talk about the music some more, but I have some projects on the go, including an album under my name I just released on Panoramic Recordings last month, and that group is called Kat Tauren's Humankind. Thank you, Colin. It's sort of, well, it's a quintet. I write all the music, and it's very much a catharsis for the current socio-political climate. And the group formed 4 years ago and donated a bunch of money to the ACLU, and this is our follow-up record, and I'm pretty proud of it. So thank you for asking. And then I'm just gonna plug quickly my Vancouver-based band, Pugs and Crows. Love you guys if you're watching, and that's a fun band too. So thank you.
That's awesome. Now, you guys, y'all are collaborative composers and performers in the Oslet Trio. You wrote the third tune, the ending one. And that was gorgeous. I was telling you on chat, like, I really love the dissonant cluster chords you put into this setting, and you all have a distinct but really well melded style of writing.
Yeah, I agree. It's like each of us, the pieces it's very much a Yuma piece or a Colin or a Cat piece, but they fit together really nice. I'm excited for the album because it's a cool journey. And that piece, to your point about the cluster chords, I had actually written a way longer piece, and there was like Crocus 1 and Crocus 2, and we had rehearsed it and all this, and I ended up taking a very small segment, and that's the chords that you're talking about, and then I just we're just looping the chords in, and I have like certain like unusual rhythmic shots that go under it to kind of keep it feeling very unsettled. And then I wrote this whole piano intro, and that's sort of what happened with that piece.
That's a really cool practice. I think developing pre-existing material of your own into new pieces is a fantastic thing to do. And then you build on this language you have, and you make so many cool new things out of it.
Sometimes there's just too many ideas you need to strip away to find what you really wanted to say.
Yeah, and then new ideas to add to the thing. So yeah,
good point.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
man.
I have some questions related to your process. We were like chatting a little bit before, like during the piece right now. Since you guys come from like a jazz adjacent or jazz like rooted backgrounds and stuff, one of the things I really love about your sound and like that really comes through in your music is that there's a sense of like ensemble like breath and like natural flow that comes from you like working out your pieces together versus like having like, here's the music, let's make it happen or whatever. So like I'd like to hear more about the way you workshop. Like I don't know if you have like lead sheet kind of style materials to start with, and then you like form things.
Yes. Yeah, we have charts that are, I guess I would say they're lead sheet style. I don't know, Colin, do you want to add? You haven't spoken too much lately.
Sure. I mean, I can only speak for myself. My stuff's pretty notated, I guess, for this group. The piece of mine that we played tonight, that was Yeah, I guess most of that was notated with some
Extremely
open
notated.
stuff.
Were
It
you
was
Well, for Cat,
you-
yes, for Cat, extremely notated.
did you do Damon or did you do iterations?
Yeah, Daemon was my piece.
Damon. Mhm.
That was actually originally about a 26-minute long through composed piece that, yeah, Yuma's laughing, Cat's not. Yeah, that just ended up to be, it ended up being way too much. And we ended up cutting up a couple of sections of it and using as kind of segues or standalone pieces and opening them up to varying degrees. And we actually had a couple of them. And when we got to the recording session, I think we recorded 2 of them.
Mhm.
Did we, or did we only do
I think
one?
we ran out of time to record Daemon 1.
Oh.
Yeah, so so actually
Next record.
this was Daemon 2. This was Daemon 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Nice.
But yeah, yeah, Colin. I mean, all of us, when we want to get specific, I think we get specific with the music. But we also keep in mind that certain things might not feel as natural as you had imagined as a composer, and you might not find out about it until you get to the rehearsal. And so there's a certain degree of flexibility between us as composers and also performers. So it's a very much a iterative feedback loop type of a process for us. Like none of us are like, okay, you have to play exactly like this, and we're gonna rehearse it until we get exactly like, I mean, there's not to say that there isn't rigor, but we also talk about what's practical and what what makes us happy as performers too. Like we might not be super excited to just like spend one measure on a piece, when we can maybe be like, well, what if we do work out this one section and then really like stretch it out, or
Mhm.
Yeah,
and-
that's a good point. It can also go both ways. It can go both ways. Like it happens to me a lot where I think I want something to be open and free, but it turns out I actually had something really specific in mind. Then I have to go back and be like, okay, I got to figure out how to convey this.
Yuma dealt with me doing that in Toronto. I was like, I'm gonna go back to the printer and bring you a new part, like, based on what we just did.
Yeah,
We
it
actually
happens.
iterations is a good example of that, because we actually had several conversations about like the beginning of that when Kat and Yuma are playing together. We recorded versions of it both on the record and when we were doing this, where I was doubling what they were doing rhythmically. But sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. I guess it's different in a live situation, but we ended up kind of settling that it was better if I played somewhere between, catching exactly what they are doing rhythmically, and kind of playing like over it, not necessarily like rubato or texturally, but more like implying a pulse as opposed to a precise rhythm. So I mean, there are definitely parts of that that we do talk about. And I'm also just not sure how you would notate stuff like that.
Sometimes
For
it's just
sure.
best not to.
Yeah.
Colin, before we head on to the next piece, I want to talk about you. You said that you're from Denton, so like we're both Texans. You went to
Yeah.
I was
Well,
close
I'm
by
from
there.
Dallas, but I went to school at North Texas, and I lived in Denton for 5 years, and I am flattered and very honored that someone in the chat is my former teacher from North Texas and huge mentor of mine, and someone I owe a lot. So thank you, Ed, for tuning in. It means a lot to me.
That's awesome. And you're part of like a million different groups. I saw the list and I was like, oh, I don't have enough. Like, I can't
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm not a part of much, but yeah, I was working a lot before this, and have a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to. This record's coming out soon. Yuma and I played in another project that we recorded during quarantine with a wonderful guitarist named Jessica Ackerley. That group's called Petting Zoo. There seem to be a lot of animal named groups in Yuma and I's vicinity. That'll be coming out sometime early next year, I believe. I just had a record. It's not my record, but it's a great tenor player named Stephen Gauci. His record came out a couple of days ago. It's with myself, Santiago Liebson, and Sean Lovato on it as well. Those are people I work with a ton. And the same person, Stephen Gauci, and I actually have a duo record that we recorded during quarantine. It's just drums and saxophone, a lot of saxophone, all improvised, and that'll be coming out in the next month or two. So yeah.
So many cool things coming out from you guys. I'm excited for that. When that new album drops, I'm just gonna be like blasting Facebook on it. I'll look at Less Than 10. Hey, it's here, March 2021.
Please.
Hell yeah,
we
guys!
really appreciate this format. You know, it's rare that we get to kind of share this music outside of like the New York City community. And also to be able to talk about this is it's very exciting for us. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. It's exciting.
Thank you for being here. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just happy we got to do this. Guys, this was the Oslet Trio from New York. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great night. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you later.
Everyone.
Keep in touch.
You. Stick around.
Whoa, please do. Because next up, we got another Alan Rademosa work. You arranged this amazing piece called Breathless by Terence Blanchard. It was deep. It was really emotional to record this one.
Yeah, it's pretty deep, and the subject matter is quite intense and everything. But I haven't written a lot of stuff throughout the pandemic, so this last month there's just been lots of pieces that I have to write, and now it's like the thing for Sean, the Austin Classical Guitars Ofrendas thing, and then arranging this piece too. There's this year's been definitely a roller coaster for a lot of people, and it's an accumulation of things that have been happening for many years. So this piece, should I talk a little bit about it now, or should we listen to it first?
First, I want to give you a shout out because you kind of carried this show. You arranged a lot of the music here. You got in contact with Tony, Camille, Sean the Store, and we're all very grateful for the work you put in here.
Thank you.
Pinto, of course. Yeah. Pinto.
He's kind of asleep on my lap. I can't wake him up.
Yeah.
He's trying to tie down my right arm.
Let's listen to the piece first, and then we'll talk more about it. Guys, this is Breathless by Terence Blanchard, arranged by Alan Rademosa, performed by Less Than 10. Enjoy. Juan. And we are back. We are joined by Pinto here. That was Breathless by Terence Blanchard, arranged by Alan Reynamozo. God, Alan, that was gorgeous. Thank you for writing that for us.
Thank you.
It felt great to be
Yeah.
able to write such a piece with such a powerful message, with such good intent behind it. And especially in this this language of jazz, there's something so profound. It's so what's the word? Just of the heart that you get out of that.
Yeah,
I think you did a great job translating.
Thank you. This piece was like, I mean, it like the subject matter. The subject matter is like Terence Blanchard, who is like one of the greatest living trumpet players. He's a jazz player, but he's one of these like super powerhouse figures who, since the '80s, he came out playing like prodigious improviser and composer. But he like writes film scores. He's written over like 50 major film scores, and like won a Grammy. And he's
many
got, like
Grammys.
And Academy Award nominations and all this stuff, right? So he like covers these. He's a perfect example of somebody who's like covering like so much terrain, like orchestral music. Right now he's writing a piece for the Met that's going to premiere next year. And so this piece he wrote in 2015 after the killing of Mike Brown. And so like I highly encourage everyone to check out the original recordings, and the whole album is like amazing, of course. But yeah, and it also has like lyric and spoken word content that he wrote also. That's just incredible. So I'll share like his website here on the chat real quick. But yeah, so this piece was like, it's like, so it struck me because of, everything, especially this year, is like an accumulation of so many things happening in the world that have been happening for a long time. And so this piece was just so beautiful and like compelling, so definitely arranging it was like a challenge to like keep that spirit of it. And but yeah, you guys did an incredible job playing it and everything, and I'm really glad we were able to do it.
You did an incredible job mixing this. It's really, as we were talking during the show, or during the behind the scenes of the stream, it's really hard to do these kind of pieces, do jazz, and like really rhythmic pieces when we're not together. There's just things where we need to line up and hit things at the same time and the same space. But your editing skills really got that to work. And it inspires me just to get back on the chops of bass. I'm a recovering bassist from an injury, and I do mostly singing and writing nowadays. So there's a different action you gotta do. When you sing, you can be on the beat a lot easier without as much anticipation. With bass, you got the big old action of the string, so you gotta be more prepared. And I think you fixed a lot of things on my end. So
I did some touching up for everyone, myself included.
Yeah, but I agree. It was great to play this, to have something so moving and so topics, of the time. The name Breathless, he was inspired by Eric Garner, his last message. And
yes,
you feel this emotional way as you play. So, thanks for, arranging this for us, allowing us an opportunity to do something with such a powerful message. And
absolutely.
I hope you guys all check out the original studio recording, because there's also spoken text on top of this in the original one, and it just blends so well, and what they do is so good. So this is not the end of Breathless for you guys. Go check out Breathless by Terence Blanchard on his album Breathless. It'll blow you away and push you.
There's also some live versions too, where with all the improvisation and stuff, it's just amazing for sure.
Yeah. Everyone in the chat, can you give Alan a big applause for all the good work he did in this show? He wrote a new piece. He collaborated with these artists. He arranged Breathless. He put us in such a great space. And we can't thank you enough for Alan. Thank you very much, everyone. Woo! Alan Reynamozo here. So that's going to be it for tonight. We are wrapping things up. And we got to tell you about what's coming up next. December 2nd is going to be sort of our early music show per se, and it's gonna be really cool. We're gonna have Akshaya Tucker. She's a great friend of ours, composer, and she's gonna be presenting a piece for Old Bass and Appalachian Singer. We're gonna have a collaboration with Michelle Schumann. She is the director of the Austin Chamber Music Center, and we cannot wait. She's gonna play some Bach reimagined on piano. And then our own composer, Nathan Noakes, is going to be sort of pulling an Allen, and he is arranging a 40-minute mass, Michaud's mass. But for our ensemble with electronics, it's going to be this wild, crazy, cool imagination of a mass in this format. So please, December, sorry, did I get that right? December 2nd? Let me double check that. But it's coming up December 2nd. I should know our own shows. And that's going to be, coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. We also want to take this time to thank our Patreons to support us in this time where we can keep on putting new shows, collaborating with guest artists, proper payment. December 3rd is our next show. The show is December 3rd. Be on the lookout. Thank you, Nathan Noakes. But yes, we want to thank our Patreons. Lee Douglas and Aigerim Galyamova, thank you so much for your support. You can support us on Patreon, less than 10. It should be in the chat as well. Every small thing counts. We can send you shout out videos. We'll send you behind the scenes content. We'll send you productions that only you will get, not anyone else, only you. And we just really appreciate any support. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And tune in next time for December 3rd. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
My lovely, I seek to beseech you, but I am all out of flowers to reach you. Standing still as if lost, I can't let this moment pass me by. Oh my conscience, I know I should heed you, but I don't have a clue how to lead you. I'll say hello, you golden fellow, and may you take me in. Daylight, you take me so easy, 'cause I'm filled by the breath that you leave me. If I'm feeling too far, can you let your warming hand in mine? Oh my future, you've entered my slumber, 'cause I look towards your sun in such wonder. I'll say hello, you golden fellow, and sing to take you in. Note, a simple hello, and all that I know is that troubles never end, but all could be saved when I take you in. You take me in. La da da la da da la da da la 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 let's take to the sunrise, and I'll be by your side till the moonlight. I'll say hello, you golden fellow and sing to take you in.